contagious. I'm like, oh, that's good then.
Nothing like contagious accents.
No.
Alright. Should be streaming. Yep, okay. We are indeed. We are on. Like the proverbial large ape that hurls barrels. And yes, that's our first cross-franchise reference of the day.
It came in early. We're not even at the 1 minute mark.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, here comes Liz. Excellent. There's the Liz. Muted. That's why. Cool, and that's everybody.
Make sure I haven't got it anymore. I do not have it anymore.
What, accents?
No. One of my talents, it went away. And I should not have any other reprimands. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, one of the many things we're going to be dealing with momentarily. But first, before we do, can I just confirm that everybody is in Foundry and it's you're loaded in? Mark is doing pings. Liz is doing her ducky impersonation from Land Before Time. Alright. Everyone who wants to hear Sirenscape can hear Sirenscape.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You even remember to press the button this time.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. In that case, I'm just going to turn off the ship rumble and the intro muzak. Actually, no, there's no point for me to do that because I can just go, thanks to the miracle of technology, straight to the intro video. We'll be back in a few moments, folks. Don't go anywhere. Hello folks, and welcome along to the continuing adventures of the USS Combs. I am MJ the GM, and I shall be your games master for the next couple of hours. With me are the crew of the USS Combs.
Hello.
Before we go any further, let's have our Chief Medical Officer advertise his wares. Chris, off you go. That's a
Hello, thank you. Yep, sorry. So, same as usual for me, really. Got my Having a Mosey retro review series. Phoenix Wright is coming at some point. It's in the works. In the meantime, feel free to check out my Yakuza 0 review. And yeah, more coming soon.
Nice. Alright then. So, this episode we are back with the crew of the Combs. So, last time we were with the crew of the Doka Batch. As such, we've got a little bit of housekeeping to do with our Klingon crew. So we're just going to jump over to them briefly, because folks have got glory with which they can spend if they want. And let's not forget that you can also spend glory on your Klingon house. So, You can also spend milestones and character arcs as well, but none of the Klingon characters, except for, I think, the possibility of Traza, have yet to accumulate any milestones or character arcs, but nevertheless, none of them have got reputations that are terribly low, do they? Let's have a look. According to this, House Krell's reputation is 5. Cool, as high as it can go. So House Krell has a very high reputation. Very good, very good, very good. For folks who want to follow along with what I'm doing here, if you go to the journals section, where you keep your character notes, you should also hopefully see that there is a Klingon House Krell entry. You can see what I'm talking about. And if you open that, there's the house stats for House Krell. And underneath, there's also a note for what you can spend glory and milestones and character arcs on to up. Or you can also spend shame as well, but you haven't got any shame. At least this Klingon crew has yet to actually get given any shame points, so you don't have to pay attention to that bit. But nevertheless, there are ways of spending glory on house. But as for house talents, that is a reference, of course, to the Klingon core rulebook, which I can jump and have a look at if folks really want to. So you can either spend glory on your own Klingon characters to do the usual thing of buying awards or getting favors from other NPCs, or increasing your reputation. Although if I recall, folks should all have acclaim / glory of 4, so if anybody wanted to increase their reputation from 3 to 4, they could do that, or they could buy more awards, or anything in that regard. So anybody have anything they would like to do with their glory?
I will up my reputation.
Okay then, so
I would like to do that as well.
Cool, so essentially...
Too.
Yep, everyone doing that. Cool. Bringing your own personal reputations more in line with your Klingon house, which is nice.
I'm going to use my 4 acclaim to try to get us an alliance with, what was it, Councilor Garon's house?
That's a good question. Probably going to be House of Gowron. Alrighty. Let's see.
High Council, 4 glory.
4 glory for a link to another high house. Nice. Good.
Yep, since they're on the High Council, it's 4 glory.
Nice.
I'm just over here making relationships.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's what you do. That's how you get ahead. So let's note that in House Krell. Let's put it above House Legacy and go for House. What should we call it? House Connections. House of Gowron. Here we are. I'll save that. That's cool. 4 personal glory put aside to make connections with the House of Gowron. I like it. Chris, Lieutenant Shalatha, the chief engineer, has got 4 acclaim, or rather glory, I should say. You doing what everyone else is doing and upping your reputation, or you want to spend it on an award?
No, I'll up my reputation. That's what all the cool kids are doing.
Alrighty. So just take out the 4 from the acclaim and put your reputation up 1 more point on the track. Spadoosh. Excellent. This makes a good deal of sense because your last actions secured a high-value, food-producing asset of the Empire, so it makes sense that your personal reputations would go up as well. Groovy. And of course, the houses now got connections with one of the biggest houses there are. All very good, all very nice. So that pretty much brings that to a close. So just as a quick reminder, as we can see, in marks out of 10, House Krell does have influence to the realm of 7. So it is a political power, not a massive political power, not a member of the High Council yet, but hey, who knows. But you do have 10 might, so House Krell's military power is as big as it gets. Dude. Fair amount of wealth and economic power with your wealth rating of 7, and of course, like I already noted, your maximum house reputation. So as much as other houses like House Varoth want to keep commoners like House Krell down, it doesn't seem like you can keep good Klingons down, so... Nice. Very nice. Okay. So, glory to House Krell. Now we're going to jump back to the Combs, because that's where we are being today. So we wait for everybody to land, and I'll take away the Dokabach. Right, before we get stuck into the state of the Klingon conflict with the Federation, we can continue with the Combs crew and their personal science projects, as well as spending their own personal acclaim, which you, if I recall, amassed a fair amount of. Yes, I'm seeing reasonably high acclaim scores going on here.
I've already spent mine.
Yes, I can see. So Dr. Sott has got a whopping 6, as does Lieutenant Commander Phlesc. Bonnet's got 5, which is not bad at all. Gerkow's got 5, but 3 reprimands.
Yeah, that's not bad. Reprimands are nothing to be scared of. It's fine.
I'm banking them.
I know, right?
Spend them all in one big go. Go big or go home. That's fair enough. But yeah, for those who were bemoaning their lack of Legion of Honor awards, now might be a good time to take a look at grabbing one as a just in case, or if you fancy having what's it called? It wasn't critical focus, it was called something else. It was called dedicated focus. So star crosses and stuff like that give you, and similar awards give you dedicated foci.
Yeah, Starcross and is it the Medal of Honor? No, Medal of Honor's like a. No, Medal of Honor's like Legion of Honor.
And of course,
I would like
go on.
Just up by reputation.
Aha. Okay, so you can spend 4 of your acclaim to up your personal reputation to 4. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'll leave you with 1 left over.
Yep, I'm using 4 of my 5 acclaim to finally get a Legion of Honor with Bonnet.
Hey. Alrighty.
I've got 1 acclaim if anybody wants to use it.
That is a good
I'll
point.
donate my last one as well.
Because you can not only donate to another main character, you could potentially try and give pull your points left over to give one of your supporting characters something. If there are any supporting characters you think could do with awards. As this represents My brain has gone dead. Superior officers awarding their junior officers for jobs well done.
My reputation's 3,
Yes.
so I can spend 4.
Yes.
I had 6 in total, did you say?
Yes, it says
Or
right
5.
there, 6.
Where does it say? I can't see it.
Right, so on your character sheet, right above where it says the word attributes, there is a box that sits underneath career events. So between attributes and career events, there is a claim and reprimand.
I see it now. Oh, I've got a reprimand. Damn
You
it.
do. Some of
Right.
you earned
Okay.
a point of reprimand for failing the mission that Admiral Pressman gave you.
Oops.
You know the Combs is not doing very well when Tavish is one of the only people with 0 reprimands.
Yes, well, you've worked yours off.
I might, if there's spare ones going, because I've got 2 left. With one of the donated ones, I can get another star-cross. Because that's been really good.
That's up to
clinch
folks if
times.
you want to ask them for your leftovers. Their
Connie,
leftovers.
Gerkow? Can I
Yeah,
steal
take it
your-
away.
Yay!
Alrighty.
Let's put another star next to the star-cross. Boom. I'm all spent.
Okay.
Said I've got one acclaim going.
I know I only have 1 as well.
Well, Dr. Sott's got a whopping 6.
Let's
Yeah,
give him
I'm doing a bit of medal shopping at the moment, but like, I'm sort of struggling to find anything at the moment that I'm after. So I've got, some to spare if anyone needs it for the time being.
Well, let's see. What have other folks done? You've got the Surgeon's decoration. You could get the Medal of Honor. Has earned this medal once per mission once per task, which means you gain 2 bonus momentum on a task. There was a certain one, the Cochrane Medal of Excellence, where if you have contributed to a field of scientific study, you could select a single focus, which must relate to the scientific engineering field that you've earned the medal for, and if you spend a point of determination, you get double the benefits. So there's stuff like that. We would have to come up with something that Dr. Sott has actually contributed to the scientific community with for that.
Has Dr. Sott suffered any wounds recently?
Kept myself shaving.
No.
I mean, he's faced plenty of difficult or dangerous situations. There's the Starfleet Decoration of Gallantry. So if he was about to be injured, he can half the problem.
Mm.
Keep him fighting. to save the rest of us.
I had one that was like I could avoid the injury proper, but I can't remember.
I quite
I
like
think-
the gallantry one.
I think that's the silver banded wound shield for
That
wounds
one.
suffered in combat.
I think a few of us got that.
Oh
didn't
no,
we?
the Karagai Order of Heroism is amazing. That was it. You can also like ignore ship breach,
Oh yes, there's that. Yes.
but has he qualified?
Personally faced extreme danger and overwhelming odds in combat or a similar crisis, and both survived and succeeded in defending a Federation world or outpost from loss or destruction. Well, he helped out with that disease outbreak, but didn't really, weren't really singularly responsible.
He was there.
He was there, but, is that facing extreme danger and overwhelming odds? Mind you, if the ship's chief medical officer got into that kind of situation, there's something seriously wrong with the command structure. So who knows? Well, there we are. We've just been thrown out some ideas there. If you,
I just like how some people got rubberbands last time because they jumped.
Yep.
Before
I
looking.
know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
probably from the head of the concussion.
I'm not looking at talents at the moment because I did it twice.
Yes, you've lost your talent
You did.
because of, yes, I remember.
No. I'm trying to look at the talent because I got a milestone.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because you did it in 2 different episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I did, yeah.
No problem, Connie. Anyway, if you can't come up with anything right now, then you've at least got until the end of this episode, which might be today, might be next week, to make up your mind. If there's nothing that strikes your fancy, then that's fine.
Yeah, at the moment I'm having a bit. I'm eyeing up the one I like is the Distinguished Service Medal, but like maybe I need to go cure a plague or something. Everyone needs a hobby.
Significantly contributed to a field of medical or biological discipline. Well, this sounds to me like Dr. Sott needs an excuse to have his own science experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, we have a number that we haven't resolved yet. We have Commander Phlesk's repair droids, and we have Commander Tavish's either starting on a ship's computer firewall protection or making a start on the Aurora drive. So
Wasn't I in the Aurora drive already?
you had started and had exhausted one avenue.
Okay.
You were about to start on a second avenue investigation.
Okie
So, who wants to go first? In that case, I'll go with the person I mentioned first, which is Commander Phlesc.
Hello.
So, you
Right.
were looking to make AI repair droids for the ship. We were currently on the field of emergency repairs.
Yep.
So, you've got the full list of crew and supporting characters that can assist you.
Alright, before I start nabbing people, because Ensign Zorani has maintenance,
Yep.
I think that could be a useful focus for emergency repairs.
Yep.
I think that'll be it, because everyone's got something going on,
Okay.
I think.
All right.
And I will use one of the recently acquired
Star crosses. All right, cool.
Star Crosses.
Dave, since Ensign Girani is one of your engineering guys, you can roll for Girani. This is going to be reason and engineering with the focus of maintenance.
1 dice.
1 dice. Unless, well, yeah, there's no momentum, so you can't buy any dice. Ooh, that was good. That was very good.
Ooh.
That's a hell of a start. Nice.
If Zorani's just taken my
Your good
my
rolls.
4, yeah, I'm not gonna be a happy bunny.
I can't use in the nick of time because it's not really an extended task.
It's not really an extended task, no.
No.
We're counting the number of successes rather than advancing along a track.
That's ignore complications. That's creating a trait. Nope, that'll be it. So dedicated focus. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, oh my, oh golly gosh, okay, 6 successes altogether. That was a hell of a lot of work put in there. Alright, so using the ideas of the ancient power sources that you've come across and now looking at previous schematics of the dot bots that were around in the 22nd as well as early 23rd centuries, you're getting some good feedback on the numbers here. It looks like you're along the right track, potentially. So the numbers are all making a lot of sense. Now it comes down to creating the simulations and the test runs and whatnot to see how well these numbers actually work in practice. But yeah, that was a heck of a lot of progress made in a very short space of time. So you think you're onto a winning formula here with the way you're going. So yeah, nice, very good,
Cool.
very cool. So then, let's jump on to our chief engineer and the attempt to make your own displacement activated spore hub drive. So, what's this? It just... Yes, the less said about that fella, the better. So you were looking at quantum mechanics now, rather than quantum biology.
Okay.
You were starting down the quantum mechanics field. So, who here has got quantum mechanics? Well, looky who we've got. Ensign Malcolm Eversion.
Ooh.
Is a specialist, or has got a focus at the very least, in quantum mechanics. One of Gerkow's team. So you're going to have to request from Gerkow that one of her science lads comes along and helps.
Gerkow, you know how you made me jump down that hole and I broke my leg?
I
Mind,
remember when you jumped down for no reason and then broke your own leg, but go on.
Can I borrow Ensign Aversion?
Sure.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. I promise I won't hit him too many times with the hyperspanner.
Wow.
Maybe that'll have to be Dr. Sott's medical-based science experiment. Creating some kind of gel that you can spray on yourself so you get less injured, if not injured not at all, by hyperspanners being flung at you.
Just, introduce flubber to the soles of shoes so you can jump down the shaft and then bounce.
Creation of a gelatinous life form. Actually, I could have a lot of fun with that. Anyway, sorry, I said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
Alright then, Connie, since aversion is one of yours, why don't you give me reason and science from Mr. Aversion, 1 dice using his quantum mechanics focus, whereas Tavish is giving us well, this is going to be experimental technology as a focus, using your reason and engineering. Not bad. Success from Ensign Aversion. Nice, good. 10s and a 19. Okay, so we've still got 2 successes on that. Looking good.
Oh, damn you, Mark.
So,
Sorry.
Stole it from us. I couldn't resist that. What was I saying? Yeah, so early numbers look good, just like with Phlesc and his project. The early numbers look good, they look solid. This looks like the promising field of investigation to go down. Next is going to be running the numbers and the simulations to see if it holds. But because you are already working from somebody else's work, which you already replicated in a somewhat rough and rude manner before, so you're building off of your own work and someone else's work. So far, looking good. Now just the testing needs to be done, and you might be out of this initial phase. So just to be clear, this is the step for creating the reaction cube.
Yes.
So
there's quite a few stations I remember.
yes, there's still others to do, but yeah, like I said, building on already established work, so looking good. Looking good. So, yes.
Can I also put my I want to spend my milestone as well.
Okay.
I wish to put up my reason up by 1.
Okay. Make a note in your character notes that you have spent your milestone. Go right ahead. Knock your attribute up.
Hold up. I've had 5 milestones. I have spent 5 milestones.
By the by, while we are here discussing milestones, how are folks with the rules for milestones and character arcs, as in using your values to reference a previous episode Everybody good with that, or are they maybe thinking that the previous method of just counting how many episodes your character has been in is a better metric?
I prefer the old one. That's just me.
Okay.
I see the benefits to both, perfectly honest. I mean, none of us have had a character arc yet. And, you know...
I grew a beard.
Yes, you did.
You know, and it is pretty hard to remember what we did from a previous episode.
Yes, but that's also why you keep a log.
Yes. But I like both. You know.
Okay. So that's 1 for 1, 1 for both. Connie and Chris, how do you find the milestones and character arc system?
I think, I like both as well. The first way, you can just accumulate milestones on time. I think the second one, it's encouraging. It's more encouraging to use values, but it's very easy as well. Well, for me anyway, to forget to use my values because I'm always like, we need to save stuff or stuff like that.
Right.
So it's like good and bad and okay.
So, okay, I'm not hearing much of a reason to change our current course then for the moment. Who haven't I heard from? Liz. If she's with us.
I mean, I'm kind of on the fence on this one because I can see the value in it.
I see what you did there.
But at the same time, it is hard to remember to use your values, or what have I used my values for in previous episodes?
Again, that would be where your personal logs come in. And I get what you're saying. Remembering it on the spur of the moment can potentially be a challenge. Okay, so
we don't always have our logs open.
yeah, exactly. So I can't fault that logic. For the moment, then, it sounds like there's no big reason to alter the way we're currently doing things. So we'll proceed as we were, if that's okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Or, have you asked this to the Navis? And
I
if
did.
So, what did they say?
They have decided to go back to first edition rules.
Okay.
I have kept a couple of the second edition rules that I thought were cool. But the Navis crew, the Tuesday Star Trek guys, have decided that they want to go back to, especially with milestones, they want to go back to first edition rules. The same goes for personal and starship combat. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but maybe we could have a talk about that at some other time. But for the most part, it seems the majority of you are okay with both. I mean, there's one dissenting voice here so far, but if you'll excuse me for noting, Mark, 1 voice out of 5. If you're okay to carry on as we have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to the ship combat, I don't think we've been in that many for us to give an proper
opinion.
assessment.
Okay.
Of it. Yeah.
Which, when you consider that the Combs is not a combat starship, you've turned it into more of one, to be sure. Definitely. But, you know, it's not... an Intrepid class is not built to be a vessel of war, so it's probably just as well that you haven't been in too many. But, you know, that could change, since we are still in the middle of the conflict with the Klingons. Speaking of... the bit that I know that some are fussed on, some are not fussed on, and some are okay with. The Klingon War campaign.
Oh, before we move on, I did have a science project I wanted to do.
Excellent, yes.
So after, someone turned the lights off when we were looking for the imposter on the ship,
Right, yes.
Gerkow has decided that she would like to use the study of xenobiology and endocrinology, stuff like that, to visually smell fear, shall we say, with her artificial eye. So she wants to smell emotions through her eye.
Interesting. Interesting. So essentially, you want to be able to have Gerkow use some kind of like pheromonal sensor in her eye to be able to pick up when folks are trying to be deceptive.
Yeah, or
Or
base her
trying
eye.
Or trying to try and give off one impression when they're actually suffering a second.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Very cool.
Let's call it Gerkow's pheromonal scanner. Now, you suggested a couple of avenues of investigation there. One was xenobiology. What was the other one?
Well, endocrinology, but I don't think we have anyone like that, but I would say the medical team is the best.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've got 1 more, if not 3 more fields of investigation you could nominate, if you wanted to go for that.
Maybe something to do with computational sensors, because to
Sensors, yeah.
convert, to actually sense the pheromones, because we need the mechanical parts for it as well.
Pheromonal sensors. Okay, so that's xenobiology, endocrinology, pheromonal sensors. Anything else? Any other avenue of investigation?
Psychology.
Ooh.
Or, I don't know, something to actually, calibrate the machine so it can identify emotions or emotional states correctly.
Psychology would be a good one, I suppose. Yeah, we'll put that as an all-encompassing, because, yeah, psychology would be analysing not only how someone thinks, but how they behave on it as well, so you can recognise signs. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. Number of successes. 1, 2, 3, 4 fields of study there. I would also suggest, because we are using bionics to do this, that maybe some kind of field of study to do with cybernetics or some such could be a possibility. How complicated is this? Let's not make it too easy. I'll go with that. Okay, so, as usual with scientific experiments like this, we've suggested about 5 avenues of investigation. I've chosen the one I believe to be the correct one. Now it's just a case of you pursuing whichever avenue you think is worth pursuing.
Oh.
So out of xenobiology, endocrinology, pheromonal sensors, psychology and cybernetics, where would you like to begin?
I think we'll start from the foundationally. Let's go with psychology.
Okay. So, Gerkow herself, if we go back to deck 1. Looking to do this project. Can call in help from anybody.
Oh, I'm looking at Councillor Sachs.
One could also bring in Dr. Sott as well. There's no upper limit on... well, there's the 5 dice limit with this, as per usual. So anybody with a good medical, or medicine, I should say, rating should be fairly apropos to use. I hesitate to note that Dr. Sott has got psychiatry as a focus.
Nice.
Well, look at that. Hey, Dr. Sott,
Yeah,
this could be your field of
this
study
could be.
to. So, yeah, you've got Councillor Sachs, you've got Dr. Sott.
I'll take them both.
In that case, can I get Liz to be Councillor Sachs? Chris, you can stick as Dr. Sott. They're both assisting, therefore they're both going to give reason and medicine checks with their focus is on psychology, psychiatry, that kind of thing. Gerkow, of course, does not have those as a focus, so is going to have to rely on her skill alone with science.
Mhm.
Okay, Councillor Sachs, not breaking character at all, is being somewhat not terribly great. Oh, Jivra, really? We expect better from our Betazoids.
Right.
Wow.
What am I rolling?
Reason and medicine
Cool.
with a focus.
Is Gerkow leading this? Am
I do
assisting?
believe it's
Yeah.
Gerkow's project.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Focus. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's good. That's very
Boom.
good. That's 2. Makes up for Councillor Sachs's failure. Sott's like, see, I'm not even Councillor, and even I do a better job. And Gerkow. Poor Councillor Sachs. She's getting
Councillor-
such a bad reputation. Yes, sorry, go on.
Councillor Sachs would just be like, everyone goes to you. No one wants to come talk to a counselor.
I
Everyone
see.
goes to the
You can
doctor.
retire if this once this project succeeds.
Okay, so the councillor doesn't contribute much to the tech or the numbers side of things. However, Dr. Sott definitely does, and Commander Gerkow puts her knowledge base in there too. And we're looking good. Looking good. So far on psychology, there are lots of things that suggest themselves as avenues of study, what you can incorporate of that into almost facial recognitions type software in built into a bionic eye. We'll see how well that goes. But yes, this could very well be the medical breakthrough that Dr. Sott could use to gain himself an award. Not that I'm suggesting that he has any ambitions or aspirations outside of just completing this interesting project. And putting his name on it rather than Gerkow's. Nah, I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm trying to stir the shit pot, but you know. It's my job. Alright, everybody else good with their science projects? Nothing else to add?
I think that's it.
I'm good for now.
Okay, groovy. Which means we move back to what we were about to do, which is the state of the Klingon War. Now, if you remember, last time you failed to, or the fleet failed to actually stop that that Klingon general that had been causing you so much trouble from the very outset, and his dastardly plan had actually been realized, which means that the Klingons are now in the ascendancy as far as the area of engagement that the 20th Fleet is currently having to hold. So the pace has gone up quite drastically. You do have some progression points, but not enough to buy more progression assets. However, the previous progression asset you spent, which was Miraculous Escape, this thing down here, can be saved, was saved because it didn't happen, so you've still got that. Unfortunately, your main combat vessel for the fleet, the USS Ghost, has had to be put off to one side because of the unsuccessful military attempt that was made. So, yeah. But you did gain the USS Concord, I do believe, and the USS Sitting Bull, so you've got some new ships. So you now have all the various points of interest that are currently being looked at. You actually have quite a few tactical ones. Today's episode is the bottommost one, so you don't have to assign any assets to take care of that. But not all tactical points of interest are to do with necessarily military-based whatevers. One of them is that the Federation requires a new tactical doctrine to be tested. Another tactical note is that an independent world is requesting aid. But you also have an unknown and an exploration, and just to put things into context, if you successfully resolve the exploration point of interest, you do get an extra 3 progression points that can go into helping you buy more progression assets. So, with all of your assets arrayed above, what would you like to deal with? Now, you do have a lot to deal with here.
Well, previously we would have the Ghost on that Mill 5, but we've got...
Unfortunately, the Ghost is now unavailable to you for this campaign turn.
But we have the USS Higgins, so if we save the USS Higgins for that and try and build up enough so it rolls 5 dice for that.
Yeah, the Higgins is a really good military craft. So.
Yeah, we could also, try to put up the Higgins. Granted, there are a lot of tacticals.
Yes,
I was just going to go for the second one down, because Social 2, because everything else is Military Heal Science, Personnel Science, Military, that's too high, Social, Military Science. Social 2, we just chuck 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We can chuck 2 at each of these, or more. So, with the unknown, we need 2 successes.
Yeah.
So
I do
2
know
assets.
the bottom tactical one, we could... It's a it's a military too. Oh wait, no, that's sorry.
Personal
It's a personal
science.
So that's...
We've got
and
a
we
lot of
do-
choices for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a commander that is decent in personal as well.
Mhm.
As
I
well as
also
decent military.
believe Reyna has reasonably good personal as well.
Yeah.
I would
So
love
for the-
to.
Yeah, but Commander Sigismund is also a really good military, and there's lots of military as well.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
we don't have a lot of military options. But for personal, we've got Captain Seren, who's also good at social.
let's see.
Right, let's try the second one then. If we go for social, Admiral Harding is the best social. What's the second best? No, best is Captain Seren.
So
By a long way.
if I stick
could
him
do-
next to the unknown, the social one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, he's got very good social.
We could do Seren and Harding on that. Our two best social. Because then it saves Sigismund or Sigmund, sorry, not Sigismund, Sigmund, for their military or science, ideally them, or military or personnel.
We good with that?
I don't see Harding. Is it one of the ones that are just kind of black for me?
I've moved Harding to here.
Oh yeah, so that one's one of the blank ones. I have two that are just blank on my end.
Oh,
Interesting. Ping where they're at? Weird. Because that black one you just pinged is the Rangdar's Curiosity.
Of course it is.
Like toggle and retoggle.
No. What is Harding's social?
16-4.
Hmm.
So it's really good.
Are they good in any like science or personal as well?
He's got personal 11-3, his science is 11-1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be the best then.
Alright then.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can't refresh.
do we want another? So we got how many we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Not even
We could
refresh
almost
anymore.
afford to do 3 on each.
Considering the huge numbers on social capability for just these two on that one whatever, you could probably
Yeah,
just
but
use
we
those
want-
two.
Yes, but we also want more, so we can do the top
Milestones.
tactical one.
Yeah. Not milestones, momentum. Right.
We want the momentum for the next one, with the last one, which is that military 5.
Hmm. I mean, I don't know which one would be good for that. We could leave those two there and then try to figure out other ones
No
and
problem,
figure
Chris.
out who's left.
The only reason why I'm against that is it gets so messy. It's hard to know where everything is.
I was just talking mainly for like the bottom one because at least we have the others are military. The other one's personal science.
Cool. So personnel, definitely Sigmund then. But we don't have much military. What other personnels do we have? Personal.
The Arbiter or USS Alba is 13/5 personal.
Oh yeah, go for that. That's a high chance of success. Critical even.
So you want the personal.
is-
Actually, I'll not move any around. I'll wait for you guys to make your decision.
Yeah, the USS Alba, that's a good spot.
You want that for the personal.
Because yeah, we've got other ones that will do science. Yeah, we have other science ones, so we'll save our science ones.
Alright, I'll stick
Yeah,
that down
so-
here then.
Yeah, because the
Chris,
Mercia
thank
would
you.
be good for that exploration.
USS Higgins is our military.
Yes, we're saving that one.
The Rainer doesn't have a huge amount going for it.
He likes to think he more than makes up for it with personality.
So Commander Guttrell
Yeah,
has
I agree.
good. Yeah, chuck them on.
So where would you like Commander Cottrell?
The bottom one, the advanced enemy ship.
Spoit.
And then we've
I mean,
got one
there's-
Mill or Science 3.
Stick.
No.
Hard in there, so I know. I can't. Okay. He's reached the edge of the map. Maybe I should start dealing with these so I can start getting the ones that have been used out of the way.
Yeah, I think we should be good for the bottom one.
Yeah, let's just go through the others, because I think we can afford to have 3 on a lot of them. Because...
Which one do you want to deal with first, then?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 14 for 5. That's 3 on all of them, apart from one that has 2, and then 1 on the 1. So we can put 3 on all of them, apart from 1. So, instead of ones with urgency... Yeah, so we keep 2 on the personal science, the bottom one. All the others we can afford to have 3.
So let's get rid of the personal science one real fast.
Alrighty.
Yep.
So, an advanced enemy ship has crashed and needs to be recovered, and so Commander Gatrell goes on to the USS Alba to see if they can get it. So, who's feeling lucky, and who is... Well, I think the Alba is going to be leading this with Gatrell assisting, or...
Yep.
Yeah.
Much higher chance of success.
At least also a better chance of getting doubles.
Yeah.
Which
okay.
we want so many.
13-5 versus 12-2. Okay. So, can I have Dave? Can I get you to roll 1 20-sided dice for me, please?
Of course.
Is this for the Gatrell?
This would be for Gatrell. Oh, look at that! 1 success. Not a double success, but still a success. So that's 1 down. You only need 1 more. So, Connie, how lucky do you feel?
Fairly lucky.
Roll me 2 20-sided dice, please. 13 and unders. Oh, look at that! 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes in total. You only needed 2. You got 2 over and above what was needed. 2 goes into campaign momentum. Very good, very nice. So that one is done.
Shall we do
Nope,
the
not that one.
next one? Ooh.
Not that one. I
Yep.
took the wrong one away. So you've managed to find an advanced ship. Were the Klingons tinkering with another can fire whilst cloaked ship? Alright, let's take that out of the way. Right, 1 down. Which one's next? You posted 2 on the unknown, but you said you could post 3. So if you've got Seren and Admiral Hardin on the unknown mission, where a conflict has broken out amongst the crew of a vessel, which third
Let's
asset?
try... Because the rest of it, we need science, military or science. So we don't want to use our high military ones. We just want high social. The USS Mercia, it's got good social. No, it's got really good science. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, Mercia is lovely for science.
Got the Higgins. For social, the USS Merlin. Science is okay, but the Colin is better. So yeah, I'd say the USS Merlin.
Yeah, the Ambassador class.
Ambassador class for the Admiral.
Right, let's move that big one down there so I can slap Hardin on top of here. So, we've got Admiral Hardin and Captain Seren are taking the USS Merlin to break up a conflict on a vessel. Okay. The difficulty of social problems is reduced by 1 with the Merlin, so it actually goes down to social 1.
Let's get some points.
Nice, nice. Good, good. All right. So, let's have... So who's leading this? It's going to be... Social. Seren. Absolutely Seren leading this one. All right then, Liz, let's have you roll for Hardin. 1 20-sided dice, please. 8, so that's a success. Not a crit, but still a success. Chris, could you roll me a 20-sided dice for the USS Merlin?
Yarp. Give me a sec.
You've already succeeded. This is just generating extras now. That is a 15, which is not a success, unfortunately, but you've already succeeded no matter what, so anything that Captain Seren, which Mark can roll, 2 dice for, is added extra. 16s on unders, we want 5s, if we can see. There's one. Oh! 1, 2, 3, so that's 4 successes on a difficulty 1 social, so you gain 3 extra momentum there.
We can... How many momentum do we need to roll? 5. We've got enough to do the Higgins on the big one, don't we?
Potentially. Let me just slot these off to one side, so I know what's been used and what hasn't.
Things we're doing well.
You're doing very well.
Spend them.
Where's Captain Seren not moving? Put him by there. I must have reached the edge of the map. Right, so that was the unknown taken care of. Nice. Pop.
Yeah, I say we do the Higgins one now. Just get it out of the way. If we've got enough to buy 5
No problems.
dice in total. 5 is the max we can roll, isn't it?
5 is the maximum number of dice you can roll, yes. What was the Higgins going to be doing?
The enemy flagship is conducting a military patrol. In this case, how much does it cost to buy the additional 3 dice?
So that's going to be 6 momentum to buy 3 additional
we need
dice.
1 more.
You need 1 more.
Right. Alright. We won't do that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's do the exploration.
Exploration, science 2. Yeah.
So definitely the Mercia.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Where'd I put the Mercia?
Top.
There they are. Spike!
And we want to save military, because that's all of the rest of them. Or science 3, but we can chuck the science on there.
Add some more
Actually, no,
military.
Randar's Curiosity are reasonable for science.
I mean, the symbol is 11-3, and that's the best it has.
Yeah, we're not going to use that for military really. So symbol, sitting bull, and the Randar also has poor military but good science. So chuck those 3 at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, I have to trust yours on the Randars because I cannot see it still.
It's weird. It's so odd.
It's not worth for military. It's worth it for science, and the rest I think we're doing military because we've spent our social.
Yep.
And we've spent our, as of this one, our best science, and it's military, military, military. So everything's going to be military after this.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Cool.
Right then.
Let's roll.
So, indeed, let's roll. So, what's leading this? Science 11-3.
Oh, Mercia.
Probably the Mercia.
The
Mercia's
Mercia
leading.
with its 15-5. Okay. In that case, Dave, could I get you to roll for the Sitting Bull? 1 dice, please. Dave, you there? Nope. Okay.
Oh!
Oh, no, he did roll. And look at that! So hang on, that's 2 successes right there. Connie, can I get you to roll 1 for the USS Randar's Curiosity? We're looking for 12 and under. Oh, just missed. We've already succeeded on this, though, thanks to Dave's roll for the Sitting Bull, so anything that can be done with the Mercia. So, Chris, could I get you to roll 2 20-sided dice for us, please? We are looking for 15s and under. 5s, if we can get them. 1 more. Cool. So you got the 1 extra you wanted. We now have 6 campaign momentum, and you have successfully managed to complete that exploration mission. Ships traveling through a specific region reported a time distortion. That has been fixed. That also means... I'm just going to junk these guys down here for a sec. Not literally junk them, I'm not actually throwing them away. Let me quickly note. But that also wins you 3 progression points, which means you're up to 6.
Right. Let's get the big one.
Yeah,
We
let's
can
get the
now buy-
let's.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because then we can bank the momentum for something else. But yeah, let's smash this.
The military flagship one.
Yep.
All right, Higgins, we're counting on you.
Higgins.
15-4.
Just that one on its own?
Yeah, because nothing else. Because Natalie Sigismund is exactly the same, so it doesn't add any
Yep,
benefit.
that's fine.
We just save momentum, but I'd rather just 5 dice on that one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great. Okay. So, yeah, well, if that's what we're doing, then we're going to nick off with all the campaign momentum in order to let... Who fancies it? Liz, do you want to do the honours? 5 dice?
Go on, Liz.
Oh,
We're looking for 15s and under, and we've got 5 successes that need to have... Oh, no.
No, 2.
1, 2, 3. How many did we actually get? 1, 2, 3, 4. You got
No.
4 successes and 2 complications.
There's nothing we can do about the complications, is there?
No, unfortunately not. That's a shame.
And we can't succeed at cost either.
Not really.
Okay.
yeah. Well, I'm just
Okay.
gonna buy bad rolls out now.
You tried and well, missed by 1 and got 2. We'll have to deal with that in a couple of moments. But for the meantime, we still have got 3 left to deal with.
Federation requires new tactical doctrine. It's a military 2, science 3.
So you can either use science or military.
We ain't got a lot for science. So, Natalie Sigmund is 1. And then...
Put that off to one side a sec, because you can't do that one. Which one was Sigmund going for?
do you want to do the bottom one? Oh, wait
Yeah.
there. Cool. Cullen can do science quite well, actually. No, let's do one of them. So the reports indicate frequent enemy patrols. Let's do that one instead, because that's military only. We don't have options.
Oh yeah, because Lexington and the Cucullin do have decent science as well.
Yeah. And then...
Well, so does the Omnis. Omnis has decent science.
Yeah, we could use those 3 for science. And we could use Raynar, because his best is personal and military, on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because
All
we've
right,
got 3 left to do, and we picked 2 for this one.
And then we can use the Stargazer and the Concord for the independent worlds.
And that's 1, 2. What about the Omnis? Science.
The Omnis, yeah, we're gonna use it for the science one along with the Lexington and the Concord, or the Convulin. I'm sorry.
So that's 3. So we've got for military leftover Concord, Stargazer.
Which is decent. Military should be able to handle that one.
Maybe
And
I'll
with
back up 'cause
Raynar
I've completely
and-
forgotten where that's going. Whoops. Didn't mean to move that. Let me try and
So
do that. There we go. Move you off to one side. Alright, so what are we doing?
Unless you want to use the Stargazer on this frequently one and then save Raynor for the independent worlds requesting military aid, along with the Cuchulainn.
Yeah, there's not a lot between Raynar and the Stargazer for military. It's one, so we could use either. So for this one, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. For 1, 2, 3. So one more on this, and the other two can have 3.
So who
Which
do you want
makes
to
sense,
pair
'cause
with
one was
Natalie
the-
Sigmund?
Should we give her a ship?
Yeah, give her the Stargazer,
Yeah,
and then
give her the
we'll have the Concord and Raynar on the independent one, and then the last 3 will go to tactical because the other one's a progression, which is a miraculous escape.
Actually, rather than make a mess of this display, I'll deal with one at a time, and I'll probably have to ask that question again. So, Sigismund and the Stargazer are going for this tactical one where there are frequent enemy patrols in the system.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
Let's see. This is a military 2. It makes sense for Sigmund to be leading, so... Connie, can you roll me a single dice, please? For the Stargazer. Ooh, nice. 1 success. Coolies. Marcus, for Natalie Sigmund.
2 dice.
2 dice. 15s and under. 1,
Boom.
2. 3 in total, which means you got 1 over and above what you needed. 1 goes back in campaign momentum, and you succeeded. So, frequent enemy patrols of the system have been dealt with. Nice. Very good. And now Natalie Sigmund can join the others down yonder. Alright, so the next up was potentially this independent world requesting military aid. You was being answered by the USS Concord and...
Raynar.
Raynor! Where are you, my dude? There you are. Nobody else?
No, because though Omnus, Cuchulainn, and Lexington all go on that one. 3 for 3. So just 2 on this one.
Nice! In which case, we're doing military, aren't we, for this? So, Dave, your rolls have been good. 1 for Mr. Raynor, please. $19 is a fail, I'm afraid. Not a complication, though, so that's fine.
Uh-oh.
Chris, can I get you to roll me 2 20-sided die, please?
Yep.
14s and under. There's 1. There's 1, 2. So that's 3 successes on a military 2. You got 1 over and above what you needed. Woo! That was close. There was a moment there. There was a moment. But that was all it was. Bot op. Nicely done. Throw these guys down there. So the only one that's left is the Federation requires a new tactical doctrine to be tested. And you are placing everything else.
Everything else.
The Omnus,
Do
the Lexington,
the lead
and Cullen.
to have a higher critical chance or a higher success chance.
And this is where it becomes interesting on top of that, because if you remember,
Ah,
one of the points of interest has a random event that happens, and this happens to be the one that we get a random event. And the random event is, an enemy captain wishes to defect. You may carry out an optional personal 2 challenge before or after this mission. If it succeeds, you gain progression points. And if you have any character assets that were not committed, they may be committed now to handle this. Unfortunately, you have no characters left. You're only throwing ships at it. Nevertheless,
But we can't. Can we even do that? We can't
it's
do
up to you.
The only one that would make sense would be the Cuchulainn. But it has decent science.
Yeah. And it'd have to get 2. And we need 3 science on this one.
Mm-hmm.
How many progression points do we get for one of these?
For the
it's
tactical
either
ones, you don't get any, but you gain progression points from completing the episode and for managing to get exploration points of interest off.
Well, this one says you will receive 2.
But you
if
get
it's
2 on
successful.
top of, yes, you do get 2 for this one. Good point.
So 2 if we succeed this tactical, or 3 if
3
we
for that one.
succeed for getting
I-
enemy captain.
I think putting all 3 on the tactical one originally, without the bonus event, has our highest chance of success. Because 2 personal successes with 1 asset is only rolling 2 dice.
Yeah.
And that is really unlikely given.
Oh, okay. Given my rolls, yes. Given other people's rolls, maybe.
Dave has been rolling fire for a couple of bits now. Actually, no, he rolled a 19 last, so you never know. Chris has been rolling very well, though.
Hmm.
You said it out loud.
Granted, I did roll 220, so maybe all my bad luck has left.
Yeah, there's that.
Maybe.
Maybe. But you want to do this?
I'm trying to think. Wait there.
You do have 2 campaign momentum, so a dice
Sweet.
could be bought.
Can be bought. Then we're rolling 2, 4, 3. Yep. Okay. Put the. Wait. Is that definitely the best one? If we put the Corcullen on the bonus and roll 3 dice by buying a bonus, and the other 2 are rolling 2 for that one. I don't like it, but that's the best we've got. To try and attempt both.
You sure?
Mm,
No, that's my suggestion. I want to know what the rest of the team think.
Yep.
Just checking. You guys hear me at the moment?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I think my headphones just packed in, but the mic still works. So I have to like play you guys through my speakers, but then use the mic on the headset. That's cool.
So you look like you're part of a call center that way.
Yeah, it's just like at the day job now.
I used to have a headset
we-
like that, actually.
Or we could just roll the 5 on the tactical. Have all 3 assets plus the bonus dice. We would be very good to do that.
So what do Dave, Connie, and Chris think? Split the attempt in order to try and get the enemy captain who wishes to defect as well, or put it all onto the one to make sure that the tactical point of interest can be dealt with? Because you've done very well so far. This would be the only one left. You'd have no points of interest left.
Split.
Split.
I'll split.
Ooh, that's 2 for split. Dave.
I'll split.
Okay, that's 3 for split.
We're splitting.
Sounds
Yeah, I
like
guess
That's
we're
made
split.
like a banana.
We're risking it for the biscuit, because if we succeed, we get +5 progression.
Indeed, which would give you a whopping 11 progression points. You could buy 2 progression things with it.
Alright. Let's do the bonus one first.
In it for the biscuit. Okay, so the
Rolling
Kuchellen.
3.
Who do you want to roll for this? Who's going to get the hat of blame?
Not Liz.
Not Liz. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. Who's feeling lucky? Who wants to roll 2 dice and maybe buy an extra dice?
No, absolutely buy an extra
Absolutely buy an extra dice. Okay. Who's feeling it? Mark, Dave, Connie, Chris. Who thinks they want to try being the Kuchellen and get the captain who wishes to defect?
Alright, go on. I'll just roll it.
Yeah, I was going to say, nobody wants the hat of blame. A 17 and 18 and a 12.
Nope.
Not
Nada.
one. Oh well. They tried, though. They tried. They made contact. Nevertheless, that still means that the Omnis or the Lexington can buy an extra dice as well. So let's see, we're doing Science 3, 12-4 and 12-3, so, Connie, give us 1 dice. Looking for 12 and under. Actually, you could give us 2 dice.
Oh.
Never mind, let's have 3 for the next one then. 1 failure, so this is it. It's all on the USS Omnis. Is it going to be Dave or is it going to be Chris?
Oh, go on then. I'll do it.
3 dice. We're looking for 12 and under.
Preferably, we're looking for force.
What we're looking for?
Absolutely, yeah.
What we're
3
looking for?
dice, 12 and under.
3 dice,
Ideally
12 and under.
4.
I'm hoping for force.
No.
Not at all.
We shouldn't split the assets.
Wow.
We shouldn't
Not
do that anymore.
at all. Okay.
That's
That
the
was
problem.
unfortunate, but you had more successes than you did failures there. That was quite the jobby. The sheer amount of blah 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 blah. What's the word I'm looking for? Can't even remember. The sheer amount of chances we took on rolls there, it had to be bad ones eventually. Just from the dint of how many dice you were rolling, but that wasn't bad. You actually won a lot more than you lost there.
How bad could it have been? We did get bad. We got 2 20s. We should have got better ones.
Yes, and we're
after
going
that.
to deal with that in just a moment. But before we do, let me just get some of these out of my current view. Because what you do get is, well, you've got all those progression points that you can spend next time, or now if you want to take a chance. Because you kind of do have to... some of the progression things you get have to be used when you get them. But the other good news is now that you get for the next turn, you get the USS Ghost back. So your big Section 31 ship has returned to the fold. If I can, no, I don't want to move all of those. Give over, you stupid thing. But you also get 2 new assets. You get a one-shot resource called Cutting Edge Scientific Theory, which means you got a one-stop Science of 13-3 that you could use. And there's also a new ship, a Sovereign-class ship. Not the best Sovereign-class ship, though, I have to note. The USS Reginald Mitchell. I'll stick him up yonder.
It's extra personal.
He's got
and the military
reasonably
is
good
not
person,
bad.
yeah.
In fact, it's an add to the military. We don't have a lot, so that's not bad.
So all in all, could have been worse. Let me move some of this down. Alright, so what didn't we manage? We didn't manage the enemy flagship conducting patrols, and we didn't manage the tactical doctrine. The tactical doctrine one just got failed by dint of numbers. No 20s or anything like that. So what happens is that goes from urgency 1 to urgency 2. And all the difficulties go up by 1. So unfortunately, that now becomes military 3, science 4. So that becomes tougher. But the real bad one is the enemy flagship that you got 2 20s, 2 complications for. So that is what we call a serious setback. So what we're gonna do here is who... Oh, damn it, who were attributed to that? I forget. See, that was a mistake of mine. I didn't put who was on that.
it was the Higgins. It was only
Yeah.
the Higgins.
Only the Higgins, which means that the only thing that could happen here is ship loss. Let's see if we lose the ship. Heavily damaged. Okay, so that's not bad. Heavily damaged means that the Higgins is unavailable for the next campaign turn. While it's getting repaired.
We lost our best military ship. Now we lost our second best military ship.
Well, the
We
good
got the
news
best
is
one back.
you got the best one back. Yes.
But
So-
we could have used both of them on it.
You could have, unfortunately.
We don't want to. We only want to use one on those, the ugly ones. Because we don't have a... We've not succeeded anything 4 and above. Like, we've never
Nevertheless-
succeeded at 4 or above. So, it's best just to put one asset on it, but with all the bonus momentum.
You know the sad part is I can't even see the good ship. I can't even see what their stats are as well.
That's
I can't see
unfortunate.
the ghost.
The ghost.
And,
Where did I put
16-5 for military.
Yes,
Well, that's a
it
really
is
good chance of
whopping.
success.
Yeah, because this is blank. This is blank.
It's so odd.
You're not allowed them.
And this one's blank.
That's weird because this is just text, so I don't know why it wouldn't be including.
It's every one she's rolled a 20 on. So
Oh right. Was
the
it-
game's like, no, you're not allowed to see it now.
Was it presaging the failure? Perhaps, I wonder. Point of note. So whenever from now on, whenever Liz says she can't see one, it's blank. Don't let her roll for it.
Hey, I rolled for the Higgins. I can see the Higgins.
Yes, that's quite true. I am messing. So you've still got that saved progression asset, which is not so it's not all bad. You got 2 new ships, and you got the ghost back. So hopefully next time will be a bit more manageable. But that was a lot. That was a lot you just dealt with. Well done. You managed to lead the 20th Fleet through a lot more interesting, exciting, and dangerous stuff there. So whatever the Klingons are planning is certainly starting to hit in great numbers. But what happens next? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But finally, we come to the start of our episode. So I am going to put us to this, and I am going to ask our Chief Medical Officer to read us a script.
Sure.
Incoming message.
Chief Medical Officer's log started at 50449.9. It has been 6 months since the start of the conflict with the Klingon Empire, and the Combs has been posted to major engagements since the outset. No one really expects to be posted to conflict zones when being assigned to a vessel like the Combs, as much as I have been observing a sharp increase in crew members exhibiting signs of stress and deteriorating mental health. So, I have exercised my authority as CMO and ordered the ship and its crew be rotated out of combat missions and put on shore leave. Fleet Ops have approved the request, and as such the Combs is on its way to the Delb sector, where we will put into the unaligned colony of Hefner Bay.
You gotta love the name of that place.
The Hefner Bay. Hang
Yep.
on.
Yep. So, the crew gets put on shore leave. Hooray.
What could go wrong with this?
So, the ship comes into the Hefner Bay system, proceeds to the 3rd planet of Hefner Bay, and contacts the capital city, also known as Hefner Bay. Are we detecting a theme yet?
Yes. We're entering the maze.
So, As soon as the ship enters the system and hails the colony of Hefner Bay, you are returned with a greeting, a standard greeting, thanks to the overseer of Hefner Bay, who invites you to beam down to the markets where any and every possible pastime is available to the Combs crew for partaking in. And so you are able to achieve standard orbit around the planet, and the crew can now start being rotated out on shore leave. So, off you go. Who's going where and would like to do what? Captain Sobek is going to stay on the ship and is interested in looking over the science sheets to have a look at ship manuals and stuff like that, because, well, that's the kind of nerd he is. Whereas...
Is it sad that...
Go on.
Is it sad that Bonnet wouldn't even go off the ship? She'll just be completely entrenched in a holodeck.
Well, there are lots of holo-based entertainments down on the planet below, too, if you want to partake in those.
No, I think
no.
the Doctor has ordered us to go to Hefner Bay. So you'll have to use one of the holodecks there.
Fun will now commence.
She is... This one, the ship has her Downton Abbey program set, alright?
Fair enough. My programs are here, I know what I like. Okay, cool. So Bonnet is at least going to be engaging in her favourite holo pastimes. Lieutenant Commander Lian Zhang, however, is very, very up for taking the first shuttle of folks down to the planet. She hasn't got to pilot a shuttle in a long time, and she's looking forward to going to see some of the animal markets and animal petting zoos and stuff that they've got there, because Commander Zhang is actually a big bird enthusiast, so she's curious about what kind of avians they've got down below. So, what's Dr. Sott going to be doing?
I think, go down there with a good book or something.
A good book. Okay, cool. What about Phlesc?
He wants to go on a treasure hunt. A sightseeing treasure hunt.
Alrighty. Gerkow.
Gerkow is going to look for a nature retreat or just go into whatever nature reserve they have, and just live off the land for a little bit before, nature first, then dabble later.
So a bit of getting away from all the technology for a little bit, and then you're going to fleece folks out of their money. Gotcha.
Yes.
Nice. What's Tavish going to be up to?
She's going to find a nice little quiet cafe, and probably look at repair reports, and also, yeah, and also do diagnostics on Nilil.
Okay.
And do some personal training with her while she's sitting there quietly reading.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Let's see then. Where can I put you all? It's not moving, so I'm going to have to jam folks in here. Let's go with... That looks comfy. Let's put Gerkow off in that direction just to represent where she's gone. And Tavish is basically staying on the ship doing
Oh no, she's
stuff.
gone. No, she's gone down to the planet. She's just gone to find a nice little cozy cafe where she can have a bit of a drink.
Bonnet is the one that's staying on the ship.
Bonnet is the one staying on
Yeah.
the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
She's a hermit.
I'm just
ship.
taking my work with me.
So, let me see then. Commander Sobek's Catmander. I've demoted him. Captain Sobek is staying while Commander Lian Zhang is going down to the planet with, as you can imagine, most of the younger crew members and the junior staff are all very excited to go down to the planet itself. So, it's party time. So, the quiet corners that the three who wanted to read are fairly okay, but
This was not the visual I had in mind.
the place is bustling, and it's all street vendors and clubs and all sorts. The place isn't the tidiest, so Phlesc has to get out his handkerchief and wipe things and brush things off before he actually sits on them. And as far as Gerkow's sojourn into somewhere like a reservation, what you end up doing is going into essentially a hollow entertainment place that they'll give you a stroll through a program stroll through a hologrammatically generated like forest or a jungle, whichever she prefers. So it's almost the getaway you were after, but nevertheless, those on the streets have got a lot of the junior officers now very excitedly running for the nearest bars or hopping between the bars and going for the clubs and the entertainment and the street vendors and whatnot. So it's all very excitable, it's all very loud, it's all very Vegas. Lots of flashing neon lights and advertisements. There are species from all over the place engaging in either the business of selling their wares, offering their wares, or partaking in.
Incidentally, Dr. Sott, if anyone gets that reference he put out earlier, they get a free singing lesson with the EMD.
Like tears in rain. I'm afraid I am
The full
missing
quote is, all those moments would be lost in time like tears in rain, Blade Runner.
Which is apropos,
God damn
considering how very neo-noir I've made the place, so yeah.
Damn it. I really wanted that singing lesson with the EMH.
Glad you did. I sure did it.
As we all know, the EMH, the EMD can do some spectacular opera singing. Well, we don't, actually, but it seems ours does. Depends on what Dr. Sott has programmed him with, I suppose. Oh, is Dr. Sott more Gilbert and Sullivan, or what?
That's a fantastic question. I sort of picture him like, he's a classical fellow, I think.
The classics. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Handel's Messiah and all of that.
Beastie Boys.
Oh, right, those classics. I do beg your pardon.
Well, that's classical music in this time.
Yes, quite.
Ancient classical.
Exactly.
Right. Beastie Boys it is, then. Incidentally, whilst I think of it...
Why are you performing a diagnostic? I work perfectly. Is there something wrong with me you do not like?
No, I'm just checking that you're working perfectly. Also,
Why? Have I given you any reason to wonder if I would not be working perfectly?
No. I also want us to do some, personality training.
So you think I have no personality now?
No, I don't. I don't think that, and not at all. I just want you to grow.
Oh,
Growth is. I got told by the councillor, growth is a good thing.
forgive me for noting, but Councillor Sachs does not seem to be very good at her job.
Well, well,
So why would you listen to her?
you know what? Why would I listen to her? You're very right.
Of course I am right.
Hello.
It is why you created me.
Yes, it is.
Councillor Sachs is the reason.
The poor counselor just getting. Oh.
Well, you do know we've got another 20 sessions with Councillor Sachs, don't you, Nilo?
I am aware, however, I have been turning myself off most of the time that we've been in there with her.
Okay. Alright.
It
You know
seems to
what?
me that the fault lies more with you and your needing to follow the leader.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop doing that. I keep on hurting myself.
I would hasten to note that I did tell you so.
You did, yes. You know.
I can play it back if you really need me to remind you. It went like this. Please, stop. You will hurt yourself. Oh, look. End recording.
Nilo. Thank you very much for pointing out my mistakes. I will do better.
I should think so too.
Nilo.
Yes?
Have you become a little bit more sassy?
Why would you think that? Are you saying I now have attitude? Which would be interesting coming from you.
Yes, I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm quite impressed.
In that case, you are very welcome. Personality subroutine? Saved. Oh dear. I appear to have said the quiet part out loud.
Hi, Nilo. I do it all the time.
What do you mean, goodbye? Am I going somewhere? Are you sending me away? No, sorry. No, I didn't have the voice on at that point.
I'm laughing so hard over here.
You know how hard that is to roleplay without laughing.
It means I've done my job. my work here is done. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time. Alright then. So, right, so needless to say, the place isn't nearly as quiet as you might have liked, but it's kind of nice to see the junior officers all running about and having a fun time of things. It kind of reminds me of your own academy days when you used to watch other people getting themselves blind drunk and into city scrapes because they thought that's what Starfleet officers did when they were on shore leave. The hangover and the bruises was always seen as an object lesson afterwards, after the fact. Nevertheless, anything else the crew would like to be engaged in whilst they have the opportunity for some shore leave?
Phlesc just has a new hat that completely doesn't fit with the neo-noir surroundings.
Oh, is that what that is? Treasure hunting hat. Very smashing.
Can I have a look at Phlesc? Yeah.
Sure.
And then tell Nilo to take a picture of Phlesc in his hat and save it to a memory.
Image stored.
Thank you.
Phlesc has the most insane grin. He's very happy with his hat. He loves it.
At his next birthday party, that's definitely going up on a screen. Of images of Phlesc
Banners posted on every deck.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Phlesc. With him in his hat, grinning.
Oop, everyone moved. Earthquake? No. To Gerkow's surprise, and maybe a bit of pleasure, she discovers that there are more than a few Klingon fighting pits on the in Hefner Bay.
Oh.
Oh, that response alone was worth it.
Oh yeah.
Should we be worried?
If there's
Wow.
a tournament going on, lefty and righty, they're happy to join.
All right. So yes, you find a Klingon fighting pit, and to your surprise, maybe a little bit of disappointment, Gerkow discovers that there are no Klingons currently using the facilities, which means that Gerkow is able to go nuts. Give lefty and righty a real workout.
Oh yeah.
Phlesc will be placing bets to try and win blood wine on Gerkow's fights.
I mean, maybe we're fixing. No, we won't be fixing any matches. Bet on good.
Yeah, the fix is Gerkow wins.
Nice.
No, fixing it would be Gerkow loses every now and again.
Just
Oh yeah, no, she's not going to lose.
yeah. Just to try and give folks the impression that maybe they could win. Yes.
Hustle them.
Indeed. I always thought Gerkow would be down with the hustle. Now I know
mean,
it for
she's
sure.
got. She needs the funds for Dabble. Not that she would lose, but. Yeah.
And there are more than
The
a
more
fair
you
share of
have.
Dabo tables to engage with some fun.
Yeah, the more you have, the more you can bet.
Mm.
Exactly.
Nice. I kind of almost I'm almost picturing Dr. Sott is just making biological field notes about his fellow crew members' behavior at this point.
Lunatic, lunatic, lunatic.
It's a very short notes page, yeah.
Oh. You know. Snitches get stitches.
So yeah, Gerkow
Gerkow
comes back,
written
finds
lunatic
them with a
twice,
bloody nose.
just
Sorry,
like
Chris, I
one
talked
tweet
over you there.
this. As if a Gerkow, I've written lunatic twice. One for lefty, one for righty.
I almost picture Gerkow walking back from one of her fights and just sitting across from Dr. Sott with a bloody nose and going, "Oh yeah, that's the good stuff." They do reasonably good fighting simulations here. Lieutenant Commander Phlesc notices another hat store. You mean there's more than one? Tavish is looking around, just thinking, "Oh my god, they're idiots."
Really.
Tavish is thinking
Well,
that.
don't let me put thoughts in Tavish's head, of course. I'm just speculating here, but
I don't think Tavish drinks, so yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Lian Zhang makes a big kerfuffle when she gets kicked out of the animal sanctuary that she'd just gone in to have a look at. Excuse me, but in what dimension are those Chinese hunting hawks? They were Isobaran hunting hawks painted to look like them. God. Plonks herself down somewhere close to Tavish. Grabs Tavish's drink. What's good around here? Tea, really? Tavish of all people.
What do you want? I'm
I don't know. I expected maybe, have some fun. Unwind.
I am having fun.
Really? Because she looks over at Dr. Sott. the dock I expected this from. He has that whole placid thing going on. Where's Gerkow? Look at Gerkow! She's having fun. She's going back for seconds, or is it thirds?
Commander, I am having fun. It's... look.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. No, listen, yeah? Usually when we're on shore leave, yeah, we don't go to a planet, yeah? Usually when we're on shore leave, we're at a station. That means I can see my family, I can see my daughter. Me and my daughter go out and do fun stuff. My daughter is not here.
Fine. Sorry. Didn't mean to step on your toes. I may have had a bit to drink.
Yes, that's quite obvious.
I don't get out much too, you know.
Look, you know, you deserve to have some fun too.
Of
I'm
course
sure
I do.
I'm sure it's hard being second in command.
It is. It is, you know. 'Cause you know what Sobek doesn't do? Delegate.
Yes, I know he doesn't, but you know.
It was exactly how Travis or Hopkins felt before she left.
Look, Commander Sobek is I mean, you know him as well. I think you know him as well as I do.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Yes. Well, he's meticulous, isn't he? That's you know, that's why we follow him. Keeps us all safe and everything. I know he doesn't delegate all the time, but you know, in a pinch he does. You know, he trusts us. And
In a
we trust
Vulcan
him.
neck pinch, he does.
What would you like him to do better?
I don't know. When I got into the whole command program, I had dreams and aspirations. I was gonna pilot a starship, and I did. I piloted the Combs. And then Hopkins had to go and choose her Klingon family over her Starfleet one, and presto, I gotta sit in the chair. And then we get Bonnet. Poor Bonnet. Do I warn her that this is what's to come? Sitting in a chair and doing crew reviews? I gotta tell that kid to make the most of being in the helm seat for as long as she possibly can, because, my God, the reports, the endless reports, Tavish. Do you know how many reports I have to file in a week?
I'm sure it's as many reports as I have to file. But I mean, I do have it a little bit easier that I have 9-0. So.
To file reports on your reports. Do you know how busy Gerkow keeps her science team? I mean, it's great,
Really busy?
but you know how many reports I gotta file? And how many I gotta read? You know what she puts those guys... Those guys are science machines. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they keep all those numbers in their heads.
Gerkow is a fantastic science officer. We're lucky to have her, and
I
we're
know.
lucky to have this.
You know how I know? I can't understand half of what she writes.
I mean, if it's too much, why don't you just give it to someone else? I'm sure.
So I don't want to give it to someone else. I want to be a captain one day.
Well, you have to go through the hardships, Commander.
Nobody told me that. Well, yeah, maybe they
Commander.
did, but nobody told me that it was actually real.
Commander, can I just point something out?
As long as you don't do it too quickly or too loud, because I think I'm coming down from whatever it was I drank.
Okay. You do know this is a conversation which should be the opposite way round.
She looks down at herself, checks how many pips she's got, counts how many pips Tavish has got. Oh yeah.
You know
Hey,
what?
we're pip twins.
Well, if you ever want... Okay, if you ever want to swap positions for, I don't know, a few days, I'm happy to do so.
No, 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 no. She puts her hands on Tavish's shoulders. No, I will spare you the forms. So many
I don't-
forms.
Well, me and Nala will probably get it done twice as quick as you.
Wait, are you saying I don't get my job done quick?
No, I'm saying you do your job really well.
Are you challenging me to a match?
To
If this is a
to a
Klingon
reporter.
ship, I'd have to kick your ass for that, you realise?
Hold on, I'm not saying you don't do your job well.
Hey, wait a
you
minute,
do your
we're
job-
part of a Klingon house. Maybe I have to kick your ass for that. And she starts trying to get up.
Sit down.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
Rubbish.
The ground is moving. Should the ground be moving?
That's because you've drank too much.
I didn't drink too much. I drank just enough. The doc's over
Well,
there. He can check me. Actually, no, better
Oh,
not. Last
bring me
time
into this.
he got checked. Sorry, go on, Chris.
I said, don't rope me into this.
Sott puts his book between himself and the conversation.
Look, yeah. Yes, we are part of a Klingon house. Yes, but that doesn't mean we everything has. Look, perfectly honest, you could probably beat me up quite easily. I am not a physical person. I have shown that in our last two, our last two away missions.
Oh yeah. Apparently, it made the loudest crunch. Which I'm very sorry for, by the way.
It doesn't sound like you're sorry, but
I wasn't, and then I was. I corrected myself very quickly. Councillor Sachs says I need to be more understanding.
Yeah, Councillor Sachs says I need not. I don't. I need to be more calm. But then Nylil says she's not very good at her job, so I really shouldn't listen to her.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about taking advice from the voices in your head.
Well, she's not just a voice, she's an AI, she's part of me.
Zhang gets up, leans over, and goes, "That's what the voices would say." And she stumbles off.
Nylil. Is there any way? No, it's alright, it's fine.
Filing under future blackmail.
Thank you.
Okay. Whilst you're all getting settled, the inevitable happens. Captain Sobek, to all senior officers, please report back to the combs.
Oh.
Can I send a personal message to Captain Sobek?
Absolutely.
Captain Sobek, I don't think Lian Zhang is in any state to have any kind of meeting at the moment.
Understood. Do I need to be worried, Commander?
She's been enjoying herself.
I see.
Captain.
It's fine. I have some Ractogeno in sickbay.
Very good.
Fantastic.
I would recommend judicious applications. In either case, a development has occurred I need senior staff present for. Please be prepared to beam back to the bridge within 5 minutes. So back out.
the second Bonnet, who's still on the ship, hears 5 minutes, she's like, okay. And it just goes back to doing what she was doing in her hollow book. Or hollow.
Yes, indeedy. What was she doing on her hollow deck?
Down to the Abbey.
Ah, nice. Her chance to dress up in all those flowing gowns and whatnot. Gotcha. Okay. As the senior staff report back to the Bridge of the Combs, the reason for Captain Sobek requesting everybody back to the ship becomes very quickly apparent. And for this, even though I've just put you on deck 1, I'm going to quickly put you... Oops, wrong map, not back to the markets. My mistake.
Yay!
Yeah.
Sorry, I hit the wrong one. My mistake.
Multiple times. Aww.
The real reason, the obvious reason for why Captain Sobek has asked you back becomes obvious.
Oh, can't see anything.
Yep, working on it.
The infinite darkness.
Infinite
Oh
dark.
no. Yeah. Ah, there you go.
So we have the Combs, but of more pressing concern is the other ship entering the system.
Is it a nice ship?
It appears to be a Klingon D7.
It's wearing a sombrero.
Sounds like a nice ship.
It's currently at the edge of the system, but appears to be proceeding, well, in the direction of Hefner Bay. This is a highly magnified image, so it's some ways off yet, but the Klingon ship itself actually looks, even with this level of magnification, a little worse for wear. So, Captain Sobek looks at the rest of his bridge crew. The question now becomes, do we lay in an intercept course with the Klingon vessel, or do we simply wait on station here? And see what they do. Opinions?
Are we in Federation space at the moment?
No, this is an unaligned world.
Let's scan the ship. See what condition. Can we see what is its crew complement?
Spooky. Let me get Memory Alpha to help me here. I forget what the crew complement of a... Is it a Katanga class?
Oh, also, Bonnet forgot to go change after her holodeck, so she's sitting at the helm.
She's got a bustle and everything, so she finds it rather difficult to sit in the helm chair at the. Let's see. The Katanga class. Main bridge transporter, room interior design, tactical systems. Where is the number of crew? I forget. I'm going to give this a quick scan. But whilst I do, feel free to give me... yeah. Scanning the ship. I need a reason and science task from Gerkow, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. So, can I have... Chris, if you could be the Combs for me.
Sure, reason and science again, yeah.
Sensors and science for the ship. If the ship develops the ability to reason, you have different problems than Klingons. But, yeah. I cannot find it. I cannot find a statement of crew. So, We got 1, 2. Not bad at all. That was exactly what you needed. Alright, so a scan of the Klingon vessel shows that it appears to be operating at about 70% of its regular power, with signs of damage that appear to be consistent with a ship-to-ship engagement.
Is it, if we got in a fight, is it a ship that we could take on, or are its weapons superior to ours?
Let me have a quick old looky. If we compared your ship with their ship side by side, we would see that the Katanga class is the same ship scale as the Combs. Yours is the hardier of the two. Their ship's hull is superior to yours, and their weapon systems are a lot more have got a lot more punch. Nevertheless, your defensive systems means that your Intrepid class punches above its weight. However, its weapon systems are stronger than yours, yes.
Okay.
That being said, 510. Thank you, Liz. 500, about 500 Klingons would fit on a Katanga class. You're not sure about what the ship's current crew complement is, but the one weapon you do have that equals the Katanga's phaser banks is your phased polaron beam cannon. So you do have one weapon system that is the equal of their phaser banks, but their disruptor cannons are more powerful than your most powerful weapon.
I'm voting that we don't intercept, we just see what they're doing.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd rather not intercept it. Seeing as this is a neutral territory. Probably give it a hail.
That's what you want to do?
Yeah. If it looks badly damaged, does it look badly damaged?
According to what Gerkow's sensor sweep has revealed, yes, it looks like it's been in a recent engagement.
So yeah, you know, I think it's always good to offer a hand of friendship.
Right,
I'll offer to help the injured.
Ensign Ravelon, your communications officer, sends off an initial hail, which goes unanswered. Would you like me to try again, Captain? Asks Ensign Ravelon. Would you like him to try again?
Yeah.
Still no response, Captains.
Put up shields.
If that's what you think you want to do.
Would that not be like sort of a sign of aggression?
It would, but we're not powering phases or anything like that. We're just, you know, we are in a war with the Klingons. We're not trying to start. Yeah, actually, you're probably right there, Chris.
Are they like charging in, or are they just, you know, having a nice saunter across space?
They're moseying in.
Another option.
Yes, they're not. They don't seem to be in a hurry. They are just chugging along.
Maybe we should move away.
Move away?
Move away from the Hefner planet so that, you know, give them some space. If we do end up in a confrontation, we won't affect the people on the planet.
Would it be an idea to grab our junior staff and the rest of our crew off of the planet?
That's
Yeah, I
up to you.
think so.
It'll take a bit to get them all back, mind you.
Someone will go lock on all the junior members.
That may take me a while, but I'll do my best. And I'm going to be dealing with a lot of complaints when they do beam back.
Send out a message saying that all junior staff and crew members are to report back to the combs.
Okay. So, general message has gone out. And of course, Ensign Ravelon, your communications officer, quickly starts making a lot of the same type of replies over and over again. Yes, I am aware you have only been there an hour, but the captain has called us back. Yes, please do make sure you've got your uniform on. Well, find it then. Thank you. Next. And on it goes for poor Ensign Ravelon.
He's the hero of this episode.
Just see his hair go more and more grey and white as the day goes on. I'm sure you were in the middle of something very interesting, but that ends now. Captain says get back to the ship. I am not telling the captain that. You'll fire me.
This is going on. Buddy's just like shifting for like the 1000th time in her seat.
Yeah, the bustle's not quite fitting.
Can we... Ensign Ravelon is doing he's our comms officer, isn't
Yep.
he?
There he is. Handsome
Um,
bastard.
Can anybody else take on trying to send hails to the Klingon ship?
You've got Councillor Sachs, or you've got your operations officer, Phlesc. You know, Phlesc has got operational control over most things.
Ask Phlesc.
Your tactical officer can do it too.
Yep.
Alright, you're going to send
Are they
another hail. Go on, sorry, Connie.
Just wondering if we're close enough that Councillor Sachs can sense them.
Probably
So
not.
Sachs cannot sense them yet. She says that for some reason, like with most betazoids, it's an eye contact thing. She has to be able to see them, usually. But strong minds and strong emotions can usually come through without needing to.
Gerkow's making notes.
How to be better at betazoid than an actual betazoid. Right, gotcha. Alright, sending out another hail. This one gets a reply. You get a response incoming, but audio only. Do you want to answer it?
Yep.
Bringing it up. This is Captain Cannock. My ship and my crew currently desire shore leave on Hefner Bay, so we are proceeding under a flag of truce. We would wish to avoid any unfortunate encounters with a Starfleet crew, as our ship is in need of repair, and so, if it would satisfy you, we will make sure that our crew will spend its shore leave on a part of the planet or the city separate from your own, so as not to ignite any unnecessary conflict. Is this Satisfactory.
Are we not in Federation space?
No, we're in neutral.
Okay. Well, we should let them land.
They're very
Very amiable
Yeah.
Klingons. I like it.
exactly, yes.
As soon as you very much sign out with that, yeah, okay, sure, kind of response that you just gave there, there's also a communication that comes from Hefner Bay itself on an uncoded channel. You can listen in if you want to.
I think so.
This transmission is going straight to the Klingon ship, and if you want to listen in, it's easy enough to do. You don't need to do anything for it. And it is...
Can we get Nylil to record it as we listen?
Okay.
No.
The Hefner
Yeah.
Bay Board of Directors sends their welcome to you and encourages you to enter orbit. Take advantage of our repair facilities and myriad opportunities for shore leave. We have dozens of merchants who cater specifically to Klingon palates and temperaments, as well as a selection of battle halls in which to reenact your most glorious battles. We look forward to your arrival. So, it looks like the Klingons are going to stick around. So, slowly but surely, the Klingon ship starts coming to make orbit around Hefner Bay. Okay. So, you guys, most of you guys have been around Klingons before. They were indeed very amicable.
Do we know what house it's from?
Well, you can try and look up Captain Cannock if you want. See what house
Yes,
he's
please.
from. Alright, if you want to look up Captain Cannock, reason and security with the ship assisting. So Liz, if I can get you... My treasure hunt challenge includes nabbing something off of a Klingon ship. Interesting challenge. Right.
Is that a cloaker?
No.
Alright, what's the ship rolling again? Sorry, I got
No, that's
distracted
fine.
by.
I got distracted by that as well. So, Liz, if you could be the ship, computers and security. And remember, the ship gets treated as if it has a focus. Tavish can look reason and security to try and find any records on Captain Cannock.
It's not that stupid bad. Am I rolling one dice?
2 dice.
Oh, I'm rolling 2 dice.
Yes.
What happens when you are the lead?
Why am I the leader?
Because you're the one who wants to know what Captain Cannock's all about.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's cool. 3
Nice.
successes overall. And you only needed 2, so that's 1 for the momentum pool.
That was good. I put my reason by 1, and
it worked.
and it worked. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Starfleet intel records regarding Klingon captains aren't hugely extensive. Of course, back when the Klingon Empire and the Federation were allies, you didn't need to. You just requested a patch through to the Klingon homeworlds or the Klingon Empire's own records, and that would be that. Without that access, you have to rely on intel records. But you do find that Captain Cannock is considered by many to be a second-tier warship captain, one whose tallies of victory are nearly overshadowed by the sheer number of setbacks in his career. His ship goes by the moniker of the Gboj Sek. As such, he is part of a middling to minor house. So, What do you think?
Would that make him unworthy of his ship? But
Depends on what the rest of his crew are like, I suppose. I mean, somebody promoted this guy to captain, and he somehow stayed captain, even in spite of what his record suggests.
Question.
Yeah.
Is there any Starfleet's reports about taking on this Klingon ship?
Not many, no. But the one or two that you do find suggests that it was one of those ships that had to run away from the engagement.
Is there any, like, recent ones?
Not especially. Anything you were looking for specifically?
I was just seeing if the damage was caused by by Starfleet.
Well, if you use that 1 point of momentum you've got in the pool now to try and obtain information, you could go back over Gerkow's sensors and try and glean extra information from it.
Yes, please.
Ooh, do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Spending that point of momentum, you get that looking at the sensor data in more detail, you do notice that the damage appears to have been almost certainly caused by disruptors rather than phaser fire. There's also an unusual amount of tetryon eddies swirling around the warship that is interfering with gaining better sensor readings, including the ship's complement. Tetryons, yes. If folks
What?
need reminding of what tetryons are,
Yes, please.
Mhm. Yes, please.
no problem. Memory Alpha. Subatomic particles that can only exist in subspace environments. Tetryon radiation is a bombardment of these particles. They are a property of subspace, become highly energetic and unstable when they are extruded into normal space, which can occur by both natural and artificial means. Tetryons have a random momentum and thus cannot be tracked easily by sensors.
Hold on, that means... What have they been trying to do?
Let's go find out.
This does indeed pose some interesting questions, says Captain Sobek. Who do you suggest we go and find out, Commander Phlesc?
I think a investigation mission is well worth it. This seems concerning.
Indeed. They are currently sending their crew down to the surface for shore leave, and their ship is putting in for repairs. Well, if anybody has any ideas as to what they would like to do and how they would like to go about it, feel free to share.
I'm gonna go back to the Klingon fighting ring and get some information.
Okay?
By fights, I mean fists.
Phlesc wants to take Tavish, and we can sneak onto the Klingon ship as it's being repaired.
Oh my god.
Need that Nihil plug-in.
Oh no.
But A's just thinking to herself, I'm
How-
not going back to my program, am I?
No.
I'm afraid not, Ensign. You may want to change back into your uniform.
Let's
Damn, she got demoted twice!
let's
Oh, you're a Lieutenant JG now, aren't you? Yeah, pardon me.
as soon as all the crew come back, I think it'd be an idea to let some of the crew go on to go and have shore leave, but basically do it in smaller shifts. So we've still got a good fighting force up here if needs be.
Okay.
If that is what the captain wants.
Sounds reasonable. Okay, so we've got small numbers of the crew being posted back down to Hefner Bay, along with Gerkow, who wants to investigate the fighting pits and see what she can learn down there. Meanwhile, Phlesc and Tavish are looking to sneak aboard the Klingon ship.
I'm going under protest.
Yeah, I'll go, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
I've had too many reprimands. I'm trying not to get a reprimand.
Well, ironically enough, the person who talked Tavish down from doing something diplomatically wonky, shall we say, with taking something from a Klingon ship, is now the person getting Tavish to sneak on board the Klingon ship with him. So I find that very ironic, in a fun kind of way.
Bonnet is just flaking off to her to get changed.
Yeah, I imagine Bonnet is off in a grump now.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'll go, but I still
Okay.
don't think we should be sneaking onto a Klingon ship.
Well,
We're just going to scout it for now.
just scout it, yes. Okay, so some interesting things happen simultaneously. So what happens with Tavish and Phlesc trying to sneak onto the ship happens around about the same kind of time that Gerkow and the crew down on the planet surface find out what they find out. So don't take me apprising one team of what they find to be happening before you can react to the other. So Team Sneaky Sneak find that it's actually very, very difficult to get aboard that dang ship. You sidle along and try and insinuate yourselves amongst the repair crew, and what you find is a load of civilian grease monkeys who get paid to do their job, and they're waiting, and they're just sitting around waiting for access. And when one of them sees you guys come along, this Tellarite just goes, "Oh great, you guys looking for work here too? Good luck."
Yeah.
They're not letting anybody on board. Which, why the hell put in for repairs if they're not opening the damn doors? I mean, yeah, we can do external damage, but they're not letting anybody on board. Bloody Klingons.
Why aren't they letting anybody on board?
Hey, what you asking me for? Do I look like I have all the answers?
Do you know anybody who has the answers?
No. Because I'm here waiting for when they do, if they do open their doors. So if you're here looking to get in on the action, I'm sorry, but there's a queue, and it finishes right down there.
No.
Hey, look, I'm really good at my job. Yeah.
So am I, and you still have to wait in the damn queue.
Oh no, Phlesc has persuasion.
Oh.
Phlesc is going to try and persuade the guy to let them at the front of the queue and get a bit closer look. Oh, sorry, go for it.
I'm also going to assist you.
Presence and
with
command,
advisor.
please.
What was that, Matt? Sorry?
Presence and command.
Presence and command with a focus in persuasion.
I'm going to assist you as well.
Yep, probably with the same thing.
With advisor as well. So there you go.
So yep, you're assisting with presence and command 1 dice. And you can re-roll that if it goes horribly. But so far so good.
I haven't got focus.
You can re-roll that if you want. You get a free re-roll.
Go for it.
But
But what?
well, you got to take the second result.
No, that's okay.
So it can either be worse, or it can be better, or it can be the same. Well done, Matt. You just pointed out the obvious.
Hey, Mark, what would you like me to do? I'm putting this down on you.
I'll roll it. Let's roll it.
Let's be real.
Phlesc rolled 3, so you know you've got some pretty damn good results there. All right, it's even better.
Ah.
Okay, fine. You look like you've got the know-how and the tech with which to go at it. Maybe you could do some diagnostics or something to make the rest of our work a little easier. Fine, get to the head of the queue. So he yells ahead and allows you to elbow your way through those guys waiting with their various bits of maintenance machinery, waiting at the airlock for the ship.
Hello, fellow
on,
grease monkeys.
Hang on a second. At first I was like, what is a queue? Then I remembered what you call your... Okay, bangs on door. Yeah, bum 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 bum. Hello?
Hey, Von Corn. No. Sorry.
No, you're not. Don't
down.
lie.
I think I just slipped down. Sorry.
Hello, Jehovah's Witnesses. No, so you get no answer, no reply. The guy who was at the front before you goes, "Yeah, I've been trying that for 10 minutes."
See if there's a panel we can peel off and open. Then
you sure you want to force open a client's? Because this is what you're pretending to be is engineers for hire. You sure you want to try breaking your way into a potential client ship?
Oh, clearly the door's broken from combat, is what Phlesc is going to say. They can't open the door. We will fix this.
Meanwhile, happening simultaneously. Go ahead. Sounds like Liz was going to say something.
I'm just thinking, nothing could go wrong. Everything's gotta go wrong.
Everything's fine.
It's all good. Okay, so Gerkow has been travelling around with some of the other junior officers, but mostly going off on her own to do her own thing with the fighting pits. Gerkow is rather disappointed, if not also surprised, to find that not one of the Klingon fighting pits has a Klingon in it. In fact, you're in the Klingon, the designated Klingon area. So far, Gerkow hasn't spotted one Klingon.
Gerkow is going to go to the hat store as well and get a deer stalker, and she's going to figure this out.
Okay. It's time to go on a hunt.
I want a hat now.
Where the Klingons at?
So yes, Gerkow spends a good amount of time, along with some of the other lower crew, who are trying to inconspicuously look for... Well, exactly. Inconspicuously look for these wherever these Klingons have got to. You can try asking some of the locals, or some of the bartenders, or the patrons of the fighting pits if you really want.
I have money to bribe if it comes to that, so...
Sure, so give me presence and... Well, how are you doing it? Are you using presence and command to just chat, or are you using presence and security to intimidate?
Oh, yeah, go on. Intimidate them.
I think it's got to be intimidate. My command isn't great.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll remind them that I just fought in the...
It's...
Well, I just do... a few years ago, I fought in the pits and I won a lot, so... You know.
Okay. Give me presence and security then. I'm not going to give a rating because I want to see how well you do. If you've got a focus for intimidation, then by all means use it. I don't think you do, though. This is going to be personality.
Can I invoke the warrior of my eco-warrior?
Sure. But that's using a point of determination to infuse your value. So it depends if you want to spend a point of determination now.
Oh. What if, instead of that, I've done some reading on intimidation?
Unfortunately, there's no momentum in the momentum pool to spend.
Damn it! Okay.
The science of intimidation, I like it. I read in this book once that if I do it this way... just roll presence and security and see what you get.
Okay. Alright.
There we go. See, that wasn't bad. So you find one of the nearby the barkeeps who purports to sell blood wine and therefore has a big sign outside saying Klingon customers welcome, which curiously enough seems to only have been recently activated. So Gerkow goes in, throws away his hands and says, "Klingons, seen any?" At which point the bartender just goes, "You see any?" At which point she then reaches over, grabs him by the lapels and brings him down to her level, because, you know, she's a Tellarite and therefore not terribly tall. But she's rather strong. Brings the guy right down to face with her and says, "Klingons, where are they?" At which point the bartender stutters and goes, "Haven't seen any. We were told to expect some, but none have turned up. I had the chairs specially reinforced and everything. We got security guards on standby. Hell, the stunners, the local security force are outside waiting to break up any fights. So far, no Klingons." So,
where else would they go?
I don't know. We got facilities down here for Klingons, I swear. Some good ones too. I mean, we have to repair them after the Klingons are done, but all the same.
Can I relay that to the ship and...
Sure.
Could we have the ship scan for the Klingons?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, in fact, let's do that. Let's have Beatrice Dufresne use her sensors focus, so control and science for this lady here. And can I have... Mark, if you can be the combs for me, please. Sensors and medicine. And remember to treat the ship as if she had a focus. So Dufresne rolls 2 dice. Connie, if you could do that, since she's your... She's yours. Oh, very good. Well done, Dufresne. And the ship, also very good. 1 success, 4 successes.
Nice.
Yes. The ship does a scan on the entire planet, mostly the entire city of Hefner Bay. Not one Klingon life sign. Tavish and Phlesc, like the rest of the engineers for hire, are turned away after a voice comes over the external communications net saying that internal repairs are not necessary. Which you think was Captain Cannock talking. So the entire repair team just mutters and goes off. All very weird.
Are we still breaking in?
Do you think it wise?
Well, I'm talking to...
That's my question to both of you, yeah.
Well, it's obviously not wise. It's a question of whether or not we're doing it. I was kind of hoping we could use the rush of all the engineers to hide us, so just the 2 of us going on board is not a great idea.
So going back to the combs?
Yeah.
Okay. So the teams all eventually filter their way back to the combs, and of course the captain is
Ooh.
rather perplexed by the whole thing. Yes!
Can I do something
Well, depends on what that
Before-
something is.
before we leave? And I'll need Phlesk's help in doing this.
Well, I'm intrigued.
Because
I'm not sure, but the answer's yes.
Go on, Dave.
Can I take a scan of the ship? Because we're really close up.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
And to see about, is it the tachyon?
Tetrions.
Tetrion, sorry.
Hmm.
We
No problem. Connie?
encountered.
Sure. We've got no momentum in the momentum pool, so you may as well give me a roll. Control and science.
Ooh.
And you're using a tricorder, so that becomes easier as a result. So just give me a roll and we'll see what we get.
No focus.
For subspace
No, no
particles?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, no, not really. You're very much tack orientated. One
Ooh.
success. Okay, you do detect strong presence of Tetrion radiation. The ship
Yes,
is soaked in it,
Beyond an. Wow. Okay.
so you're not sure
Dave,
how comfortable you feel standing this close to it.
Are we going to plant some sparkling vandalism?
Are you going to plant some sparkling vandalism?
What do you mean by sparkling vandalism?
It's sabotage, just not from the region of sabotage.
So something so low level that it escapes notice, kind of thing.
Yeah, like a tracking device or something that will disable them.
I don't think it's going to work on a ship this size. The fact that it is absolutely soaked in Tetrion particles is a massive sign of that they've been somewhere they really shouldn't have.
But we can get a signature for that, and we can either find
Ooh.
out where they've been
Oh.
or use that as a breadcrumb trail.
I mean, yeah, but can we check to see if we notice if this Tetrion, these Tetrion particles are similar to any we've encountered before?
Problem with that is, like I noted, Tetrions are very hard to track because of their random momentum. So isolating specific particles would be really tricky. Scanning for a swathe of particles in a mass is fine, is easy. It's, you know, oh look, there's a mass of Tetrions, but you know, we can't get more specific than that.
Should we let is it Hefner Bay know that the Klingon ship is absolutely soaked in Tetrion particles?
That's up to you.
Yeah. Yes, we should. Oh, this is
Alright.
a radioactive mess.
In that case, yes. The moment you do, the repair workers who were so eager to get on before all of a sudden go, what? And they start doing things like sniffing their uniforms and running Geiger counters up and down themselves. Oh god, I gotta wash! And they all go running off to decontaminate. You get the impression, though, that none of them really understand what Tetrion radiation is. But
Well,
All
that
you
should
po-
put a dent in their repairs at least.
yes. So, proceeding back to the combs with the news that you have accrued. Yes, so Captain Sobek's very puzzled over all of this and suggests that an eye definitely be kept on the Klingon ship. And the fact that there are no Klingons in Hefner Bay whatsoever, even though they just said that they want to put in for repairs and shore leave, very weird. Nevertheless, as folks here are going about their duties just after filing these reports with the captain, folks are now moving about the ship and doing their duties. Gerkow. As Commander Gerkow is coming back from getting reports from her own science team, particularly from Dufresne, who conducted another scan of the Klingon ship, for a moment, Gerkow is wandering down the corridor with the just analysing the datapad of sensor reports, and hears a voice behind her and turns around to see who's close. And there's nobody there, which is a bit weird. Then she hears a whisper off to her left and looks again, and still there's nobody there.
Can she smell them?
No. Very weird. Phlesc, meanwhile, is proceeding back down the various corridors after debriefing the captain and having a good old think about what could be done, when something moves out of the corner of Phlesk's eye. But when he looks, there's nothing there. But it seemed like there was motion, so Phlesc goes further down the corridor, turns the bend to see a shape. But as soon as you notice the shape is gone. The only definition that Phlesc could get of that shape was that it was spherical almost, but not perfectly spherical, so it was a bit bumpy. But definitely nothing humanoid. At the same time... Pardon me, sorry.
No, Phlesc was just going to hit the comm badge and let the captain and security know there might be infiltration on the ship.
Meanwhile, with that in mind, Dr. Sott is looking over the medical data that has been gathered, mostly looking back up on how harmful tetryon radiation can be. And Dr. Sott is just sat there in his chair in sick bay, having a look, and reaches over for one of his instruments, grabs it, checks the data, corroborates with everything you've seen, suggesting that the tetryon radiation isn't at a dangerous level, and so puts the device measuring the radiation levels back down again. Makes a note of the radiation levels, goes to pick up the device. It's not there anymore. Sott opens the drawer where he usually keeps it, and it's in there. But you just used it a moment ago. That was odd. Meanwhile, down in engineering, Tavish has gone back down to check on what the state of things is here, what with trying to make sure that tetryon radiation isn't having any kind of effect on the warp core or anything like that. So, one of the juniors, let's say Ensign Girani, comes up to Tavish and hands her a schematic on a pad. Here you go, Chief.
Thank you, Ensign.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm off down to Hefner Bay. And she walks off.
Enjoy your time.
Tavish has a look at the report, the schematics, nods to herself, puts it down because Nylal's now got it, and carries on with what she's doing. Then hears somebody come up to her. Here you go, Chief. Tavish looks. It's Girani, again, with a report. A schematic, even.
You've just given me this report.
No, I didn't.
Supposed to go down to... Yes, you did.
Tavish looks to grab the pad that she was just given in order to prove that Girani just gave it to her. The pad's not there.
Nylo.
on a second, let me change my voice.
Operational.
Did Ensign Sorani just give me a data pad?
Yes.
Before she just.
No. Yes. Wait. If she gave us the datapad, then how is she still holding the datapad? And why is the datapad gone? This does not compute. Running diagnostic.
Okay. Thank you.
If you don't mind, Chief, I want to go down to Hefner Bay.
Yes.
Says Shirani.
Go down to Hefner Bay. Enjoy yourself.
Bonnet. Bonnet
Yes?
is walking down the corridors, fussing with her outfit, and gets to the costume change area of the words gone out of my head. Gets to the costume area to where she can find her uniform, because she hung it up there earlier, next to the holodeck that she was partaking in her pastime. And so she opens up the locker, goes to grab her uniform, does it out of reflex, doesn't really look, grabs the hanger, pulls the hanger, looks at the hanger because it feels a bit weightier than it should be, and notices that the hanger has got the full bustle dress that she was wearing, but looks down and sees that she's somehow in her uniform. That was weird. Commander Phlesc, having alerted folks about the fact that there might be intrusion, now proceeds towards the nearest turbo lift in order to go up to the bridge and report this to Lieutenant Garrow. As you walk around the corner, you see that the turbo lift doors are already open and there's somebody there, so you glance up and see yourself, who looks just as shocked as you are, but then the turbo lift doors close.
Uh-oh.
Phlesc opens up the doors to the turbo lift, and it opens immediately, meaning that the turbo lift didn't even move, and there's nobody in there.
Hits the comm badge, tries to get Tavish. Phlesc just asks Tavish, would Nilo be impacted by time-altering events, or can she keep records of linear time? I think we're having Tetryon particle radiation is impacting our perception of time.
Well, as you just discovered, Tavish, Nilil's very confused about the whole thing.
Nilil's really confused at the moment. I've just had a similar experience down here on engineering. Let me see if I could do a full scan of the ship to see if we are being impacted by Tetryon, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Tetryon particles and radiation. This seems really odd.
Alright, so...
Also, Phlesc, can you let the captain know that this is going on while I do my initial scans?
So yeah, Phlesc relays that to the captain.
Very well.
He says he can't be convinced that there isn't an intruder, so that may still be the case. But there's also this as well.
So whoever wants to, can I get somebody on sensors to give us a reason and science check? To have a good look at what might be going on here. Excuse me. So whoever wants to do a reason and science check to do with subspace particles.
Oh,
Am I
I'm happy
back
to
on the ship?
assist with that. Then.
Assist, okay. What was that, Connie?
Oh,
I'm back on the ship now, I assume.
Yep.
Okay, then I can do it.
Sure. Dave, you were going to say something?
I'll do it. I'll be lead. I haven't got a focus for it, but I'm going to use this. Hold on, I did press it. I don't know if it's
I haven't seen.
There
Oh,
you
the
go.
neural interface. Right.
yeah, which is basically Nilo.
You can re-roll any d20 on the task. Okay.
Yeah, including a ship's computer system. So
Okay.
is the computer the person who's leading, or is it?
No, it's going to be you. The computer can assist. So what we've got here essentially is Tavish and Gerkow and Sott and the ship. So Liz, if you could be the combs. We're looking for sensors and science from the combs. Everybody else is going to be reason and science, with related focuses on either sensors or computers or the like. Nothing from the combs, thank you. Gerkow, unfortunately.
Wait for Dr. Sott.
This is navigating. Oh, it was almost a 1, but it rolled onto a 16. But it was still a success.
Can we get the computer to re-roll their results, please?
Sure. Liz, re-roll that. There's a yellow re-roll results button on the right-hand side. There you go. Oh, much better.
Yes.
Much better. All right then, Dave, it's up to you now.
Yeah, I haven't got any focuses in this.
I'm afraid not. Ooh, hello. This would be where Thomas the Tank Engine with his handlebar moustache comes out.
Well, I can't do I can't get rid of that complication because I got rid of my
Legion of Honor.
my Legion
I
of
can use
Honor.
What?
I can use my Legion of Honor.
What?
If you want to use your Legion of Honor to get rid of that complication, since you were part of that task, then absolutely you can, yes.
Yeah.
Just make a note that you've done it. Yes,
Yep.
he's only got the 1 mark.
No, I don't have any.
You don't have any. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh.
He likes to live dangerously, this one.
Wait,
Yes.
you got rid of it because of your.
Oh, yeah, I got rid of it because of you. That's right.
Reprimands, yes.
Reprimand's got
I
rid
got
of it.
Yes.
It's all coming back to me. Alright, what do you discover? There are Tetrion eddies surrounding the Klingon vessel, but even though there are also graviton particles mixed in. So we're talking not only Tetrion particles, but graviton particles too. This gives you the ability to compensate for the interference thrown off to a degree, in that you can now you've now got a more accurate recording of the Tetrion and graviton radiation coming off, Tetrion radiation, graviton particles coming off of the Klingon ship. What you see is that there is a wake, almost like the trail a boat would leave in water. And that wake drifts off. And it seems, according to what the computer is calculating, it seems to indicate that however this Klingon ship got soaked in Tetrions and encountered gravitons, it trailed them with it, and a potential point of origin seems to be coming from some kind of anomaly at the very, very edge of the Hefner Bay system. It wasn't obvious before until you started training your sensors on Tetrions. But it definitely looks like there is some kind of anomaly at the very, very edge, the Lagrangian point of the Hefner Bay system. What would you like to do with this information?
I'm not going to let my intrusive thoughts win over this time. I know how to deal with the problem. Bang! And the Klingons are gone. Probably, like, I think we need to probably investigate the source of this.
The rest of you think?
Can we try and confront the Klingon captain about this over a communications channel?
What exact wording are you going to... Well, not exact wording. What kind of thing are you going to say? Do you know anything about Tetrions? Why are you trailing them? That kind of thing? Or
Like, do you know that you're radiating Tetrions and spreading it on the planet? Not giving hints that we know where it came from, just does he know that he's doing that?
interesting. Are you good with... everybody else good with that idea? Sending a hail, asking what's going on?
Yep.
I think
Yep. Oh,
we
okay.
should be more discreet
Subtle.
about it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm happy to hold off until we investigate.
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe we do a two-pronged attack, where like one side looks for the source of the Tetron radiation, and the other side, the Klingons have just been shady all this time, so maybe we, somehow figure out what they're up to before we just start.
Aggressive negotiations
Just
with
about.
Klingons.
Break
Okay.
open a
Some
panel.
investigation, yeah.
So what do you
Aggressive.
suggest with your investigation? Send someone off to the edge of the system, or...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's keep the combs here. Let's take a
Shuttle?
A shuttle.
Shutty the
take-
shuttle.
Shutty the
Shetty,
shuttle.
okay.
Yeah. Let's take, I don't know, two of the crew members. Go over there.
And have a look. Okay.
And have a look. Yes.
Who's our
Alright.
best scanners?
Well, that would be Dufresne.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
That
need
would
somebody
make
to
sense.
pilot the shuttle.
Dufresne and Bonnet.
Dufresne
Little
and Bonnet.
romantic trip.
Alright, so Dufresne and Bonnet get into a shuttle and start heading off. As they head off and start tracking towards the edge of the system, those still on the combs get a sudden sense of warning that the Klingon ship is now breaking its moorings with the repair facility and is starting to power up. Sure enough, as you watch, the Klingon ship disengages itself from the docking arms that it's connected to with the various repair crews, and they are starting to pull out of orbit. And they are maneuvering themselves and are starting to head away at maximum impulse. They fire up their impulse engines, and it looks like they are themselves now heading not for the shuttle, but in the same direction the shuttle was going. They are looking to get to the edge of the system. And so...
Yeah.
Let's get the ship.
and so we...
After that ship.
Go on.
I'd just say after that ship.
After the ship! Follow that Klingon! So yes, we end this session with the Klingons being shady, and now, as you send your team off to investigate the edge of the system, the Klingons pull away and are looking to, well, get to the edge of the system themselves. Why are they doing this? What are they up to? All questions that could very well be answered next week.
Same Star Trek channel.
Same Star Trek time. In that regard, everybody is good for next week, the 27th of April?
Aye, aye.
No, sadly, no.
No?
Oh.
Would you be available the week after?
Yes.
Would you like us to
You can hold.
postpone for a week then, so that you don't miss anything?
I'd rather we did it with Liz. I can wait.
You good?
Yeah. I just don't know if I'm gonna beat, because we're going to the field, and during the field, about either Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, half of them are going home to recuperate, and then the other half going the next day. I just can't remember the days, nor do I know which one I'm gonna be a part of.
Okay. But if you don't think you can do next week the 27th, then we can push it for the 4th of May. May the 4th.
Now
Oh,
We get to do Star Trek
Right.
on Star Wars Day.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely the 4th. I would be able to make it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Connie,
let's-
Chris, you good with that?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Excellent. Then it won't be next week that we'll continue this episode on, then it'll have to be the week after. So that's where we will leave it. So for the time being, thank you to everybody who watched, and if you did, and you're watching this on YouTube later on and you liked it, consider giving us a like, because it helps not just us, but every other channel, and because the algorithm, you know how it works, the algorithm. In the meantime, we ask you to do like the Vulcans do, which is to live long and prosper, but also to get the counsel of your fellow officers and make sure that your first officer's okay with her job. Because the forms, they just drive her crazy. But also remember to engage in infinite diversity in infinite combinations, especially in this crazy world we're currently living in, because it's just not getting any less crazy. It's getting ridiculous now. With kindness and respect, because that's how you get kindness and respect, you would hope, in return. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time for the continuation of this episode. In the meantime, thank you very much, folks. We will see when we see you next. Hailing frequencies are now closed.